here we are in Module 5, Lesson 6, and as you can see on my paper, we have 3 shapes. They are hand-drawn, so they are not going to be perfect, and I don't strive for perfectionism, but I was just thinking about the qualities of these shapes, and you can see that we have a square, a rectangle, and a rhombus, but how can we know which one is which? So I'm just going to be thinking about quadrilaterals and the properties of quadrilaterals. And what could we use that would help us identify which one is which? Would it help if we knew which one had right angles? Does that make a difference in quadrilaterals? What about side lengths? Would that make a difference in quadrilaterals? So if I mark which ones have right angles, let's see if that's going to help you. And like I said, these are just things I drew by myself, so they're not going to be perfect, but we're going to pretend that A and C have right angles. So now do you know which one is the square, which one is the rectangle, and which one is the rhombus? Not quite yet, right? We need to know about those side lengths. So what if I told you that each of these sides was the same? This line shows that they are all equal. So this one is going to be the square, right? And what if I told you that these sides are also all equal, but we don't have right angles there? So this one is going to be the rhombus. Good job. And this one is probably going to be the rectangle, but let's add in this side and this side are the same, and this side and this side are the same. So you see how I put 2 lines here? That tells you that these 2 are the same, and 1 line here tells you that these 2 are the same. So this one is the rectangle, right? It's good to have specific names for quadrilaterals. And this one is a square because all sides are equal and it has 4 right angles. This quadrilateral is a rhombus because it has 4 sides that are the same length, but doesn't have to have, right? Doesn't have to have right angles. And this one is a rectangle because it has 4 right angles, but opposite sides that are the same. When you draw a quadrilateral, what should you include to make sure someone can identify what type of quadrilateral it is? Angle measures and right angles and side lengths. Very good. And today we're going to be sketching and identifying quadrilaterals with given properties. So that should be a fun lesson today. Here I have a lot of quadrilaterals. Let's make sure they're all on the screen so you can see all of our quadrilaterals there. And I sketched these, and when we sketch, like I said, they don't have to be perfect, right? We're just doing our best. Now I want you to think by yourself or with a partner, whatever your teacher tells you to do, about quadrilaterals A, B, C, D, E, and F, and which ones can be, what do you notice about them? What can you observe about these quadrilaterals? All right, you've had a little bit of time to observe. If I said that one of them was, or some of them were parallelograms, right? Parallelogram. We would have to think about what a parallelogram is, right? Opposite sides are parallel. Just a reminder, parallel, you have your 2 L's here in the word parallel. So those are 2 lines that are going to go on forever. So opposite sides are parallel, which ones do we have that show opposite sides parallel? C, right? This side and this side are parallel to each other. Didn't come out very well in the drawing, but this side and this side are supposed to be parallel to each other. We'll make that a little bit better there. How about D, right? A rectangle. We have these two parallel to each other, these two parallel to each other. And we notice that these two parallelograms also have two different side lengths, right? So if we're just looking for this description, are there any other parallelograms that match that? C and D, I'm going to put a little check mark so we know, yes, we already did those. I'm looking at A. Are you looking at A? Why is it not a parallelogram? Do you see these two lines? These two are not parallel, right? They're coming towards each other, so they're going to run into each other. They're not going to go on forever. And same thing with B. We do not have parallel opposite sides, so they don't match our description. E, looks like our opposite sides are parallel, but look at our second part here. They're all the same. Even if they don't quite look like they're drawn that way, this line tells us they are all the same length, like a rhombus, yes. And the same problem here with our square. They are all the same length, and our description here asks for two different side lengths. Okay? So C and D are also trapezoids, even though not all trapezoids are parallelograms, and not all trapezoids have two different side lengths. Is that true? These quadrilaterals are parallelograms, and all parallelograms are trapezoids. Okay, so we're going to be thinking about describing and naming quadrilaterals in this lesson. Okay. I'll see you in our next video. That'll be video 2 for lesson 6. Thanks for your hard work. Aloha.